Okay, condensing unit's 1 year old. It's R22, it's 4 tons. It's the wrong kind of foam. I'm going to go into this when you do the meter check. We did not have Schrader valves. This disconnect should be sealed. But one thing that's not on the meter, the water meter video, is we do not have a rain diverter. There's not a rain diverter over here to keep the water from splashing onto the condensing unit. The gas enters this side of the house, and as I mentioned before, parallel is on, perpendicular is off. So let's get started. We've got missing a little bit of our foundation perimeter here. That's aesthetic. That's aesthetic. That's not going to hurt anything. If it's less than a third of the brick, I mean, it's not pretty. It's not pretty or anything, but you know, this kind of is what it is. This looks like it's probably a bathroom, probably the master bathroom suite. This is probably the master bedroom windows. So probably. These are single pane aluminum frame windows. Single pane aluminum frame windows. What does that mean? Well, if you pull a permit to do some remodeling, they're probably going to make you replace these windows with some energy efficient windows. You know, they're the same windows I have at my house, which is not for sale. Okay, and you shouldn't have to live like me. But by the way, these are single pane. These are called glazing strips. It's a name I made up, and nobody's ever challenged me on that. So everybody knows what I'm talking about. I must have made it up pretty good, I guess. But they're all drying out, not all the original windows. You have original windows on this side of the house. This is the east side of the house. The house faces north. You have them on the west side of the house. You might have some on the patio, I can't remember. But we'll get there sooner or later. So what we've got here, we got a little bit of sagging soffit right here. A tree should not be closer than 25 feet, 25 feet, excuse me, to a structure. These roots can cause havoc on your foundation. They just can. So just something to think about. These bushes should be cut back away. They shouldn't be rubbing next to your house. That's conducive to wood. Just know that one's not really, but neither one of them, I guess. I get carried away. I do. These are Centricon termite bait stations. Centricon termite bait stations. That's for termites. And they have professionally installed ones, and they have consumer grade installed ones, and I don't know which ones those are. So it might have been somebody's big idea, and if they're not maintained, they're basically worthless. They might even be detrimental if they're not maintained, because termites work with pheromones, and so they've been trained to come here to eat poison, but to eat. And if that's empty and there's nothing to eat, they didn't travel all this way not to eat. Where are they going to eat? Where do you think they might go? They might go inside there. You got wood behind that brick. They might. I'm not sure what this drain is for. I'm not sure. I guess we'll find out. I guess it'll explain itself, become self-evident eventually. But two things we don't have here that I've noticed. Actually 3, but we do not have weep holes. We do not have weep holes. And we do not have control joints. Some people call them expansion joints. Weep holes. All roofs leak. Homeownership 101. All walls leak. We design them to shed water faster than they accept it. So we have these little weep holes every so often underneath here. And most of the time they let out vapor. I have seen them during an event. I have seen them actually drain water. But that's, and you know, it's supposed to. I mean, otherwise, without the weep holes, then this structure will hold any moisture that comes inside. It'll hold it longer than it normally would. Longer than it normally would. Brick is porous. Brick is porous. So it does take in water. That's why we need the weep holes. That's exactly why we need the weep holes. And we do not have a control joint. Some people call them expansion joints. Call it what you will. Just like those lines out in the street. Okay, they expected the street to move. And we expect the structure to move. And so with those control joints, expansion joints, call it what you... Okay, well then it's there to control the cracking on the brick. And we'll see a good example of that. Rain gutters above grade. Coming along, there's debris. A little bit of movement at the fascia. A little bit of movement at the frieze. Which is kind of unusual. The frieze is wider than the fascia, but it's usually the other way around. But oh, and another thing, I promised 3, did I not? Okay. Soffit vents, air intake vents, are only apparent on the west side of the house and the east side of the garage and around the patio area, the south side of the house. Only on the west and south sides of the house. We do not have air intake vents on the north and the east sides of the house. Tree's too close. It's a pretty good sized crepe myrtle, I gotta say. I hope mine get that big. Coming on along, some of the windows have been replaced. These are double pane vinyl frame windows. They're probably replaced because they were fogging or leaking or hot or something. I still haven't found a, well, you'll see from the other video, from the water meter is out there. The check valve for the lawn sprinkler system is there. The main shutoff valve is buried and rusty there, and that's the main water. We got 50 psi. We do not have vacuum breakers on any of the exterior faucets. Lawn sprinkler heads should not be closer to the structure than 12 inches. And a lot of this is going to be redundant. I apologize for that. That's how I remember things when I write your report. So this is my method. Okay? The rain gutter discharges onto the shingles. We do not have kick-out flashing. The rain gutter is too close to the wall. The fascia board is in direct contact with the roof covering, and we have soffit damage. Yay! Not yay, I guess. We got a little bit of cracking right there. A little bit of cracking over that arch. Over that there arch from Hillbilly Home Inspections. Moving on along, storm doors are beyond the scope of this inspection. See this siding? See this trim board? See how we do not have trim board there? Okay, this vertical trim board. The reason why this was installed, it was a repair. It was a repair. See how close this trim board is to this porch? It's because you're supposed to have about 2 inches a gap right there, so that water does not wick, capillary action does not wick up off of the sidewalk, off of the porch, into the woodwork. And of course it probably was, and they came in and they added the trim board. And I recognize that because that's the way we handled my house, which isn't for sale, and you shouldn't have to live like this. See these holes? There's only one reason for holes like this. Only one reason. Those holes are so you can apply product, which is code for poison, which is specifically the only poison, the only product you would install in this location, in that will matter, would be termiticide. So this house has been treated for termites. Now, people don't usually just wake up one day and say, you know what, I'm bored, honey. Let's get one of those $900 termite treatments. I just don't know. I feel like I'm missing something. It doesn't happen. It was probably an event that caused these holes to be drilled here. And that event was most likely a termite infestation. And I can say all this because I have a termite license. So we know that this structure has been treated. We also have the bait stations, remember? We know this structure has been treated at least once. We know that for termites, we do not know what it was treated with. We do not know who treated it. And we do not know when it was treated. But we do know it was treated. These exterior light fixtures, they should be sealed so that water doesn't make its way into the wall systems. Coming on along, level grading and drainage, level grading and drainage. That same kick-out flashing thing I was talking about, the gutter too close, no kick-out flashing, soffit damage, that's a better one. That's a better one right there. That's good looking. Okay. And again, this is redundant. I understand. I can appreciate that. But again, this is how I know to write the reports. This receptacle outlet right here is GFCI protected. It is. We don't even have one on the front porch. That's why they added it. Okay. I was going to show you something. I can show you something later. I'm saving something for you. I'm saving it. Coming on along, this is a sewer clean out. It's not a main clean out, it's for the kitchen, but it's a sewer clean out all the same. I sure would like to see a main. Sure would like to see a main. We're not finding those mains. Coming on along, we got a loose soldier brick. These are soldier bricks. They're standing up, they're marching. These are sailor bricks. They're sailing across the ocean. Got a loose soldier brick. I'll show you. There it is, right there. See that? Alright. And coming on along, level grading and drainage again. But something's going on here. And actually, almost negative. We also have high soil. And because we do not have rain gutter, see all these splash marks? So the water's coming down and splashing against the brick, which is porous and leaks water without weep holes. We got some, this is vertical casement, vertical trim board. I mentioned that, I mentioned this. It's coming loose here on this side. More of these single pane windows, more of these damaged glazing strips. Got something in here, it's hiding. Almost missed it. Almost. There you are. Got a broken window right here. Broken window. I got another one. I found that one pretty easy. This is the closed dryer vent. This one's broken too. And we're missing a screen. Missing a screen. This is a closed dryer vent. They're usually pretty dirty. Oh yeah, that's dirty. I don't know if you can see in there. I don't know if you can see. You want to know? Inquiring minds. You want to know? Is it still recording? Sometimes I turn that thing off when I start flying it around, hitching up my pants and stuff. Okay. Yeah, that's dirty. That's dirty. You want to clean that. Fires. That's the main reason. Fires. Yes, it's less efficient. It's a whole lot less efficient when you have a fire. Another vinyl window. This is the water heater temperature pressure relief drain line, and it's proper height from the ground. I do not see two drains, so I wonder where the safety pan is. Remember when we were talking about expansion joints, control joints? Okay, remember we were talking about those? Well, this is the garage, and it moves more than the rest of the house. It's kind of like the moon and the earth and the relationship with the tides and all those physics things with time and space, and we're making our own control joint here. We got cracking here. All this movement. It's not a lot actually. I'll make a big deal out of it. This is the control wire conduit for the lawn sprinkler system. It's nice that it's copper, but they're usually plastic. It'd be in a lot worse shape if it was plastic, but it looks like the weed whackers knocked a little hole in there. Water can get in there, get into your electrical system. Electric meter, 3 sides should be sealed, tops and sides. Moving on along. Satellite dish, not properly mounted. Never seen one properly mounted, by the way. Never seen one properly mounted. There's a roof video about that. Coming on along. This is a manufactured carport, metal carport with corrugated panels on the top. And this carport has experienced hail damage. Sure has. Doesn't mean that it leaks. I don't see any signs of leaking. It took a beating. It took a beating. The garage door casement, it should not be in direct contact, just like on the front porch. It should not be in direct contact with the cement, because when all this washes in here from this negative drainage, when this washes in here, water can wick up in this wood, and has been, causing it to rot. Causing it to rot. There's a metal overhead door. Portable sheds are beyond the scope of this inspection. That's not a real estate improvement. You can pick it up and take it home, take it with you. It's there. It's all it is. It's a playhouse. Also, walkways that aren't attached to the house are beyond the scope, but this is kind of a trip hazard here. It's kind of a trip hazard. And coming on along. Got some separation between the vertical trim board right in here behind the rain gutter. Moving on along, siding. We still have soffit vents on the south side. Passive wind turbines. Fireplace has a masonry fireplace has a chimney cap. Coming along, just like on the front porch, we have this vertical board. Oh, thank you. You are so good. You are so good. We've got the vertical casement board, and we've replaced the windows in the back here too as well. The sliding door looks like it's original. But we've got the casement around the perimeter. Hey, baby. Come on, honey. Come on, honey. Oh, yeah. No. I want to close the door, though. All right. No, you're fine. I'm going to be inside pretty soon, by the way. Yeah. It's just the video. Come on, Houston.
He will lick you.
And that's all right. That's all right. My bonnie cattle. Come on. Okay, the rain gutters are a little disconnected right there. And really what I was calling your attention to, though, is these rain gutters in these inside corners. This one more than the other one, so this is my example. But you can see that water leaks from that joint right there. And then on the soffit right beneath there, we got a little bit of soffit damage, and that little trim board's loose. And so, yeah, those are leaking. They're leaking all right. And again, you can kind of see this would be the furnace. And then the furnace flue cap has got a little, it's deformed a little bit because the hail's been beating it. And then around the chimney, this is a good example. Around the chimney, the flashing. See the way it's lapped right there? When they replaced the roof, they should have bent all that step flashing in tighter and sealed it to prevent wind-driven rain from going up like that. So that's that. This deck, okay, is as fine as it is. It's not a real estate improvement. I'm not going to inspect that. You might get some use out of it. Don't hurt yourself. I don't know how reliable it is. Coming on along. We got some gaps between the soldier bricks here. Remember soldier bricks? We got some gaps right in here, right in here. The rain gutter discharges too close to the house. And right here, this is the master bedroom windows. And right here on this side, this perimeter, we got some exposed rebar. I don't know really how to fix that. You might talk to somebody. It might be just a matter of cutting it out and resealing it. I mean, what's happened has happened. We got some exposed rebar right there. And again, we got an extra faucet too, by the way. You got one faucet here and one faucet there, and I tried them both, and they both work. So that's the exterior. How much time do we burn? Oh my goodness, it was 18 minutes. You are